Hi guys, this is Tibusa. I'm coming to you all the way from South Africa. And today I would like to speak to you about the current unfair financial world order. And I'll begin by saying this, that in the ancient times, there was no money. People exchanged things or goods, or simply shared something they had enough and to spare with others. And the people who did the study of this, they called this that the gift of economy. It was people exchanging gift for service or exchanging gift for whatever it is that they needed, for food or whatever it is, because there was no money during that time. Through the introduction of paper money instead of commodity, opportunities opened up for banks and the state to speculate and get profit, but caused a host of negative aspects for the economy, in particular for the ordinary citizens and the ordinary people. In our days, money is no longer a measure of labor. We have become servants of money, especially of those who print it. Thomas Jefferson of America once said that I believe that the banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, the banks will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered for. This was a saying by Thomas Jefferson. Let us look at the banks today. How is money circulated, or how is money printed, or how is money generated? You've got the Federal Reserve Bank of America, you've got the World Bank, you've got the Reserve Bank of South Africa. All of these are groups of private bankers who have stolen money creation process from all the people across the world. Most people think or still believe that these corporations are an agency of the government working in our best interest. And I'm here to tell you that they are not working on our best interest. There is no greater form of evil in the world today. Let us explore the banking system, or let us explore the banking pyramid. Let us explore the banking scam. Banking scam, money is a trick. Money is a trap. When solving any crime, there is a universal truth: follow the money. But with the banking scam or the banking pyramid, you have to follow it backwards. You have to trace exactly where is it that it came from. So having said that, let us look at this. Where does the money come from? The world's money supply is always growing. Where does all the money come from? Where does it keep coming from? Money comes from privately controlled global banks. You've got your these are your central banks, your Federal Reserve Bank, the World Banks, the Reserve Bank of South Africa, international and local banks. Banks increase the money supply. Because all banks are either owned or controlled by private bankers, the real question is, how do private bankers create their money? And I'm going to tell you, they create it out of thin air. They create it out of nothing. And if you give me a time, I'll explain what I'm saying to you when I say that they just make it up. And this is amazing. When I was studying this and when I was researching this, I found this to be really amazing. It is all numbers. Ones and zeros in a computer somewhere. Only 3% of the world's money is even in the form of a bill or coins. Only 3% of the world's money is in the form of a bill, meaning paper, or coins, which means that 97% of all the money in the world is just numbers that are typed out on a computer screen. This is part one of the banking scam. Money is created out of nothing. That is the very first part of the banking scam. The second part of the banking scam is that this phony money is issued as debt or credit. What exactly is debt? Let us look at debt. Well, when you consider that we work all our lives to pay off this debt, and sometimes we never even pay it off, but you have to work your entire life, we could say that debt is slavery. It's a modern way of enslaving people, because you really never come out of death, and all your life you have to work and work and work for many hours for you to come out of death. Some people, they work for 8 hours a day. Some people work for 12 hours a day. It depends what profession you are in. Nurses and security guards are working for 12 hours a day, and they are working for wages which the same wages cannot sustain them, and they have to go back and rely on the same banks to get credit and debt at higher interest rates. Now, the third part of the banking scam is very evil. When bankers create money from nothing and issue it as debt, they only create the principal portion of the debt. They do not create the money for the future interest payments. There is not enough money in existence for all of us to make our interest payments. We are therefore forced to play a game of musical chairs to see who can make their debt payments. This guarantees a world of bankruptcy, competition, and scarcity of money. For example, you go out to a bank and you want to buy a house. You go and you take up a loan of 1 million rand for you to buy that house. The moment we sign the loan document, the bank creates the money out of thin air. And this is how they do it. It is 1 million rand debt for us, and it is 1 million secured credit for the bank. Then one of the two things will happen. Either we give 20 years of our labor making the house payments totaling to 3 million rands. It can be double of it, of the amount of money that you had, even more. So you spend 20 years of your life. One of those two things is either you spend 20 years of your life working so much for you to make those repayments, or the bank will repossess the house and they take it back. If you can make the repayments, the bank will come and repossess your money, the property back. So in essence, the house is not yours, it belongs to the bank, but you are paying the bank for you to get that house. So bankers get either our labor for life or our house. Often they get both. All from creating money out of thin air and issue it as debt or credit. This is why the bankers end up with all the assets. And they make their assets from the sale of repossessions and from the sale of foreclosure. If you think about it, the house that you applied for 1 million rand, you apply for 1 million rand and you have to work for 20 years and you sign the 20-year contract. By the time that you will only start paying back the actual house after 10 years. The first 10 years, you are paying the interest. It is only after the 10 years, after the first 10 years, that you are actually starting to pay for the second bond. For the actual bond. God forbid it, you lose your job or your business goes down and you've been paying for 15 years and now you can't afford to pay the bank. What will happen is that the bank will come back and they'll take their house. But they've already made interest. They've already made their money back. Because the first 10 years that you have lived, you've been paying for interest. The second 10 years, you are actually paying for the actual bond. But you have paid it for 15 years and now you are unable to pay. The bank will come and repossess. And this is what they will do. After repossessing, they will list the property for auction. And what's going to happen there is that they will make you believe, or they'll make the buyer believe, that they are selling this house with a discounted price. But they are really not selling the house because they've already made their money back. The person who buys the house from an auction most probably is going to finance the very same house with the very same bank. Meaning that now they've got two mortgages on the same bank, on the same house, same property, excuse me. So the person who buys this house on auction, they apply for loan. They too start paying interest the first 10 years of their lives. Then on the second year, the second term, the second 10 years, they only then will start. So in a nutshell, the bank can make more money just out of one property by just refinancing and refinancing. And this is what I mean by them creating money out of thin air. Because actually, they only gave out 1 million. Then the interest is calculated by a computer, but you have to work for it and you have to pay the money. So the modern money system makes productive work to be unprofitable. This is why I love Triple M. But Triple M is bridging the gap by uniting youth enthusiasts from around the world who believe that the exchange of donation is something absolute, and also believe that exchange of donation can make financial relations even more fair. We can change the world for the better. We can definitely change the world for the better with Triple M. If people are united and help each other, then they will be free, since they will be able to provide themselves with a decent standard of living without additional assistance from the government and from the bank. Triple M is building a new model of economic relations, which will make the world more humane. And this is why we say a triple bank, and this is why we say a triple M. Together we can change the world. We can only do it together. The world is unfair. The richer are getting more rich. The poorer are getting more poor. And with this network, then we have the opportunity not only to improve our lives, but to change our lives and to help those who are caught in this trap of the financial world system, which is so unfair. So this is the world financial system, and I hope that your eyes have been opened by this little recording that I did right now. I do believe, just like the creator, of Triple M, Sergey Mavrodi, when he says that the financial apocalypse is upon us. And I do believe, because the word apocalypse means unveiling, I do believe that the banks, what they did not want you to know, we are beginning to know all of these things. All of these things that I shared with you is what the banks don't want you to know. But with Triple M, we can change the world. And with Triple M, we can change our lives for better. This is Tibusa coming to you from all the way from South Africa. I hope that you have enjoyed this recording, and I hope that you have learned something. I have to sign out right now. God bless you.